Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I am so glad you're here, you guys. This is the second part of my talk with the Sidley twins. Now, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button for them, please consider doing so. They're so great, so much fun. We really enjoyed our conversation. And so I hope you enjoyed this as well. This is more the rebrands for Harry and Meghan. There were so many to go over that we broke it up into 2 episodes, but we probably could have gotten like 4 more out of it. Again, a huge thank you to everybody who contributed to the list to help me figure out so many of the rebrands that they did. I really appreciate you taking the time to write me on that. So without further ado, let's jump right back into my talk with the Sidley twins. If you missed part 1, go find it. We really have enjoyed ourselves. So let's take a look. What did Dum Dum say? He said something like, "That's classified," when asked about his own children. I just find that so weird.
He said,
Like, how's Harry as a dad? Something
"Oh,
like that.
how are you as a dad?"
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's classified.
Yeah.
Or just simple questions they asked them, like when they asked Meghan on the Variety red carpet,
Yes.
What are your projects, or what are you doing for
well,
Christmas?
our kids are little. I mean, even Harry at the GMA interview said the same thing. Well, they're growing like all kids do.
Yeah.
It's strange.
That is very odd. The other point I keep bringing up is he just said, yeah, they have really good personalities. And I said, that's what you say on a mediocre date. Like, how was your date? It was all right. He had a good personality.
He said they humble us.
Yeah. What does that even mean?
I told people, our dad, we're much older than Archie and Betty. And you ask our dad now, how are Nancy and Stephanie? He'll go on and on about like specific things, like that we did last week. I mean, I've never, we've got like a dad like Taylor Swift's dad.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
No, that's good. That's a good dad. Oh, I love your dad.
I'll be like,
he loves you.
I'll be like dad's friends, and they'll say, yeah, your dad said you were doing this. And I'll be like, how do you even know this? So it is very, because
they seem detached.
They seem very detached, because usually you want to just because like I said, I was a kindergarten teacher, so I know parents that they just get very excited. Like I had celebrities kids in my class. I was at a private school in LA, and even though they were celebrities,
we'll talk about that on your Patreon channel.
Yeah,
perfect. Thank you.
They would still go on and on about what happened last night at dinner.
Yes.
So and so said this, bath time, all this stuff. Just
Harry doesn't
private details.
Harry doesn't,
because it's.
But it doesn't have to be too private.
No, but just anecdotes, things. Yeah.
Like you'll never believe what they said last night.
Yes, exactly. Which, by the way, I told on a separate video. My Gosling said that she just heard Harry's voice and said that guy sounds like King Kong. So I've kind of been calling. I'm like, yeah, he's kind of monkey-like.
That's a good one.
I thought that was really funny. Like, okay,
he is though. He's got a little. He's like an ape.
Yeah, he just walks around grunting angrily,
like a caveman, like a really
dumb. Exactly. Goodness, that's funny. Let's see here. So victims has been an ongoing one. Let's see. Montecito Royals is something we've kind of touched on a little bit, but I believe the Sussex thing kind of falls under that. Remember their first trip to New York, the one you were referring back to on that horrible outfit that she wore? And it was their I say first trip to New York. It was their first trip outside of the royal family. So they made it into almost like a royal visit and nobody knew what to do with. So it was a bunch of royal. I feel like we got that again in Jamaica, right? Like they were treating it like a royal visit.
We got like the
dumbed down version.
The dumbed down version in Jamaica. The first time they went to New York,
that was a spectacle.
They used all their contacts.
Every
contact. They
got to every bridge.
They got the mayor there. They got De Blasio was there.
They had security, a lot of security.
Was Cuomo there? I don't know. Oh no, the Kathy Holcheck. And they got them to take him to the 9/11 memorial. Stuff like that. And I remember thinking to myself, man, they are using whatever contacts they're getting it all done because nobody's gonna give them this sort of procession again.
Absolutely.
They didn't.
No.
They did no more convoys. There's only Hertz Rent-A-Car and cabs.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody. They want to be dignitaries, which I want to be a dignitary.
I want to be one too.
Yeah, same.
Great. But as far as them doing that anymore, this is the thing. Meghan doesn't have any talent.
No.
I'm not trying to be ageist in any way because I'm the same age, but
all the same generation.
We're all the same generation. We're all the same age. But as far as her thinking, she's got these 9 lives. She's not going to make it in Hollywood.
No.
I mean, I hate to break it to her, but that's not going to happen.
Sure.
You're not going to get another acting career. You're not going to be able to revive the one you had. Brand deals, influencers, that usually goes to people who have been doing it for a while, like Gwyneth Paltrow, who started it in their 30s.
And Jen, it's like your popular episode about Julia Roberts.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Julia Roberts.
Yes, exactly. You're absolutely right.
This is the thing. Time is not on her side.
No.
It's just not on her side. And
it's not. And the crazy thing is, she could have had these opportunities if she wasn't an a-hole at every turn.
No.
That's not doing her any favors either. So
she's a horrible person.
Absolutely. Really so obviously because of that, who's going to want to work with her?
No one.
Well, obviously we know the answer to that.
Yeah.
The guy from Spotify, he would have never said that if it wasn't true about being grifters.
Absolutely. Oh, but don't worry, guys. They're making their big comeback on Limonada.
Yeah,
whatever the hell that is. It sounds like a made-up drink. What is that?
Yeah. We did a whole episode on it about backstory on it.
It's just like the people that they have there. It's an all-woman. It's
very
cringe.
But no, but we did an episode on that. It's funny.
Man, it's going to be so bad. Now, this is the thing. No one's going to listen to it.
No.
And the people that are going to listen to it is going to be people like us. Someone told me it costs $4.99, and I said that'll be the best $5. I said
she'll do it, and then we'll play it for you.
You're my hero.
Together, spend the $5 and then circulate it because
I'll Venmo you $2. There you
go. We're sisters. It's the same.
No, but what I'm saying is the people that will buy it are going to be people like us, and we're only going to buy it once,
exactly,
and then share it. And the people that they're banking on buying it, first of all, a lot of them don't exist; they're bots, and second of all, they don't have any money. I mean,
it's just not going to work. Yeah,
it's not.
Spotify didn't work, and it was free. So what? How is this going to work?
And they were inflating the numbers. Spotify was trying so hard to inflate the numbers. They at one point they said that her show was doing better than Joe Rogan.
Oh goodness gracious! Yeah, wild. Oh. Let's see here. Moving on, we got they rebranded as Down to Earth. Remember, he said, "Call me Harry," and then she went on Ellen and did one of her cringiest things, that interview with the milk bottle and all that awkwardness and kind of trying to play on the quirky. I'm just Meghan, I'm just Meg, whatever. So I feel like that was a thing for a little while, trying to be a little bit more down to earth, maybe drop the royal titles, although they never go without those royal titles.
That doesn't last very long.
Is that why they're changing their name to Sussex? Because they want to be down to earth?
No,
screams that's right. It screams the opposite. Do you think they actually are changing their names, or do you think it's just more bullshit for clicks?
It's more bullshit.
I think the website, everything. I don't think
they're legally changing their names.
I wonder.
They definitely want their kids to be known as Prince and Princess Sussex. They said they changed their kid's last name from Mountbatten Windsor to Sussex. I believe that.
But that just screams more of the disconnect between parenting. I always think about that. I just would never want, and I understand families go through things, but I just it would kill me to have a different last name than my kid. So I can't imagine. Yeah.
But think about the kids, how confused, the identity crisis that they would be. Because when you're a child and you go on a field trip and you got your name on there, it's confusing. And when your mom doesn't have the same name or your dad doesn't have the same, it's weird.
And they're not growing up in a place that recognizes the monarchy. It's not like they're growing up like the Wales kids. So if she goes to that class and says, this is how I want my kids addressed, the other kids are gonna like, they're not, it's not gonna be a good thing, trust me. And the other parents are gonna resent it.
And especially when social media, they start getting on social media, not necessarily whatever, Betty and Archie, Charlie, Archie, whatever. When the other kids, when their friends get on social media, they're gonna read all about this.
Absolutely.
Because their friends didn't sign NDAs.
No.
Their parents signed. Now, as someone who worked at a private school, yes, the parents and the teachers 100% probably signed NDAs. I had to, and I didn't have a royalty going. But as far as the kids, they're going to grow up one day and they didn't sign NDAs.
Yeah, so. I know. I look forward to reading their books.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I'll buy one.
Yeah, absolutely. Funny. All right. The next rebrand I have was escaping prison. What do I mean by that? That freedom flight.
I was freedom. Like, Jen.
Yeah, I know. Because they kind of refer to it like that, the freedom flight, and they escaped. And remember, that's when we got the BS. Thank you for your service. You know, the guy in the aisle, supposedly. And
that was when she left the first she left the Thanksgiving, and he crouched down and he goes, thank you for everything you've done for our country, or something stupid like that.
Thank you for your service.
Was that an actor?
It was the pilot.
No, I'm saying maybe it was a paid actor.
He stopped flying the plane. And he got up. He opened the cockpit door, which is illegal. And he left it just free flowing. Said, "Where's Meghan sitting? Right. I need to say something."
I'm sure she was back in coach with all the common folk, right?
And he with tears running down his cheeks, crouched down.
So they're trying to rebrand freedom and jail. Is that what they're doing?
Exactly, yes. And then it was also this same time where she told the story where she collapsed in her bodyguard's arms and said, "I tried so hard." And he said, "I know you did, ma'am. I know you did."
Wow.
Can you imagine?
I just can't. It's like, what was going through her head? I know it was during the pandemic, so we were all a little loopy and nuts. But wow, what was going through her head?
Just thinks that, I really think she thinks she's the smartest in the room and nobody will ever question.
I just feel like when they were coming back on that freedom flight, they were a hot commodity because Americans didn't know how crazy they really were. So they opened up their mouths. So when they were on that flight, they were probably getting all those Netflix deals, all those Oprah interview deals. Everything was coming at them at once. And when that happens, you get delusional confidence and you start saying things that you probably shouldn't be saying. So that's the only thing I could think of. She had delusional confidence back then.
You are so right. I think so. I think she has maintained it. He may be having more of a reality check based on his face, but I don't know.
Well, you know, maybe. If he is doing drugs or if he is having a existential crisis or whatever. Existential crisis. Sorry. That's why I have a twin. That helps me with that. No, but if he was drinking, whatever, he definitely wants to mask that pain. Because he goes along for the ride, Jen.
Yeah.
He goes along for the ride.
Right.
At this point, with kids involved, he's got to pull the lever at some point. He's got to get out of this. He can't continue down this route.
I think so
too. And people say, "Well, you guys don't know what's going on." Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Absolutely. Rebranding to being in danger with all the security guards and then the near catastrophic car chase.
Yeah. Well, then don't go to Jamaica. We just issued a warning.
Yeah, come on. Absolutely. And don't do 2 pap walks
a day.
One in Studio City in the Valley, one's in Beverly Hills. Those are 2 separate parts of LA. She went cross town. She had to go over a canyon.
She went over Laurel
in rush hour. I mean, come on.
We've all been there. It's not fun.
Oh man. The security thing is off the table, guys.
And how come they didn't get the pictures of her going over the canyon to Studio City? Where are those pictures? Oh, probably because she called the Paps to be outside those restaurants.
If you're so worried about your privacy and your security, someone who has been to Cipriani's before, it has a back entrance and exit. go out the back.
Go out the
Even
back.
our favorite Italian restaurant in Sherman Oaks, Oliva,
Had a
back
back
entrance.
Oh,
Go through the back.
You know who used to go there? Scott Baio. He didn't use the back entrance,
Oh,
but
nice.
I'm saying it had a back entrance. Most restaurants in LA do.
Okay.
She's not. You think she's in danger, Jen? Do you think she's
not
in danger?
No, not even kind of. I think only she's her own danger.
Yeah, I believe that too. And it's getting frustrating because there actually are people that need security.
There are people
and police officers. And then there are people, you're right. There's people like the New York car chase. Some people believe that crap.
And they believe it.
No, but I'm saying it's like, and then the police chief came out during New York and said, that never even happened.
Well, he's like,
Yes.
I don't know why
they said that.
I don't know why they went to the station. They weren't in danger.
Exactly. Because they're so important. People are trying to get them, right?
Yeah, they're just such a hot commodity.
Listen,
right.
they proved it by going to Jamaica.
Yep.
Yeah,
they proved
absolutely.
it that they're not in danger. They took their kids to Costa Rica.
Yep.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
That's also not the safest place in the world for kids. So
that's crazy. I want to know what their security bill runs, though. It's got to be just astronomical.
Probably $1 million a year, I would guess.
More than
I
that,
would
maybe
say
a
$1
little
million a
more.
year if, and this is a big if they have security with them 24/7. Now, I'm starting to believe that they hire the security only when they go on pap walks and outings because. Listen, celebrities in LA and New York, they don't need security. Ben Affleck and J-Lo, when you see them doing pap walks, do you ever see security? You know why? Because they don't need security. My boyfriend, who's famous, does not need security. I'm just saying. Nobody.
That's because your boyfriend is The Rock. We've been over that.
I asked him once because I was really interested.
Wait. Jay doesn't need security.
That's right.
I asked him once. I said, in the peak of your fame, when you guys were selling out stadiums, did you ever have security or need security? And he goes, no. Yeah. He goes, no, you don't. And I said, okay. So this is what I believe about security. It's all optics. When they are in Montecito or wherever, like let's say that picture of them Halloween. Do you remember that picture of them?
Oh yeah.
Let's say that was real, and that was
it was.
That was him with the nanny, which everyone got. There wasn't any security because you don't need security in Montecito.
Okay.
So it probably lightens their security bill a lot by not having 24-hour security. If they're behind the gates at Montecito or wherever they live, they don't need security in that neighborhood. It's already monitored. You pay astronomical HOA fees, home owners association fees, and that pays for round-the-clock security. Even in my parents' neighborhood down south, they have to pay HOA fees, and that pays for round-the-clock security. Nobody's getting into those gates. So I don't believe they have 24-hour security.
Just for sure.
So, but if they did, it would probably run them about $1 million a year for sure.
Wow.
But I don't think they do.
And if they didn't walk around security, they'd be less noticeable, and they know that, I think. So it just adds to them feeling important, I think.
Right. Yeah, when they called the photographer from Backrid, they know they need someone behind them to look like that dude's walking them to the car. I mean, it's just part of optics.
It's just
they're just so pathetic, you guys. They're so
absolutely. And I get stuck on things like bringing security to Kevin Costner's event. What do you think is going to happen to you at Kevin Costner's house?
Well, they knew the cameras were going to be on them. Kevin Costner knew it was going to happen. He knew they were coming. It goes back to WME. We all knew they were all part of that clique. Everybody there. Ellen, Oprah, everyone was there.
I also think they are lacking so much confidence, especially Meghan. I think if she feels she can bring a security guard with her, that maybe she'll look more important in front of a person like Kevin Costner.
Absolutely.
Like security. I think maybe it was that as well. But as far as needing security on Kevin Costner's property of all places.
That's his backyard.
We were once at the Sunset Room, and Kevin Costner, when he was dating his now ex-wife, but he was still dating her, he was just dancing on the dance floor. There's no security.
No security. Watching him. He went out and got his car at the valet.
Yeah, he just walked out and ticket to the valet.
The way they're treating it is that they're in danger of getting assassinated.
Under siege. Yeah.
I don't get it.
But Kevin Costner doesn't need security because he's the bodyguard.
Oh my God, that's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
The best movie ever.
Love it. Let's see here. And then rebrand to Canadian/Nigerian. So they hung out in Canada for a few weeks. They planned to help the Commonwealth. Again, lasted a few weeks, took some paparazzi pictures and took off.
Yep. And then the drones flew in the Netflix show. They showed the drones flew over the Canadian house and scared them. They were scared for their lives over these drones that I never saw. Yeah. And then they went to Tyler Perry.
And they exploited, are we talking about the Whistler one? Or are we talking about?
No.
No, the Freedom Flight. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Impersonations popped in my head.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, that whole Canada thing. Well, wasn't it like a Russian oligarch's house?
I believe so. Somebody very, very wealthy.
That his friend David Foster knew, or somebody.
Yes.
But again, why does a family of 3? Before Doria was with them, need a house like that.
I don't,
especially in Canada. I mean, guys, Canada is like the safest place on the planet. It is, especially Vancouver Island. I'm telling you guys. Safe. I can't even begin to tell you.
Don't jinx Canada.
I'm not trying to jinx anybody in British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
It is so safe.
Okay. I've never actually been there.
So you're saying Prince Harry and Meghan might be lying.
They are 100.
They've never been known to do that before. What?
Another thing about Canada is nobody cared that they were there.
Yeah.
Like, nobody. So I don't know where they were getting that the Paps were trying to,
Well, that's where we got that picture of Meghan hiking, remember, with possibly a baby.
But how can anybody with a right mind think that wasn't a setup? How can anybody look at that picture?
Yeah.
See the fake baby. That's a fake baby. I'm sorry, that's a fake baby. Because the baby's coming out of the. I'm not a mom.
No, I agree. You would smother the kid at that point. Yeah.
How did they know she was walking at that exact moment?
Right. I got a crazy question too. When she moved back to Canada, how come Bogart, the other dog, didn't meet up with him?
Yeah.
How come Bogart didn't come back?
Because it doesn't like Harry,
obviously. No,
it would probably be
picture the dogs around there.
Probably better off without them, I'm guessing, right?
I'd cry my eyes out for.
Yeah, but that's the thing, Jen, about dogs. They're like 2-year-olds. They don't think like that. So when they're ripped apart from their other family, they don't think, oh, this is a better house.
Yeah.
They want to be with their family. So she's evil.
That's an evil.
That's evil. That's
an evil move right there.
Yeah.
Awful. And then the Nigerian thing. So we were talking about that offline a little bit, but can you tell the story of why you believe that Meghan was identifying as part Nigerian? Remember, you said somebody on the podcast or something.
During her podcast, she had a guest who is Nigerian, and the guest just randomly asked, what are you? Do you know what you are? And she goes, I just got my genealogy done, which is a lie, because in 2016, she made a pilgrimage to Malta and told everyone she was Maltese. And she goes, I just got my genealogy done, and I'm 43% Nigerian. That was the first time we had ever heard it. We heard that soundbite. And I think, and the girl was so excited. And then the girl goes, I knew you were Nigerian.
Okay.
Issa Rae. I think it was Issa Rae who was the guest. I can't remember. Sure. Don't quote me on that.
That's okay.
But she got all excited, and Meghan was feeding off that excitement. So my theory on the Nigerian thing was, because she had a guest who was Nigerian and asked her that, she sort of said that on the fly and probably didn't think people were going to pick up on it as much as they did.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, the Malta thing never clicked with people with her because she wasn't famous back then.
Yeah. Like, nobody said, oh, she's picking Malta maybe because Harry's grandparents and his dad lived there for many, many years. And me a connection to them.
That's a good grip.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I kept waiting for her to identify as partially Jamaican after the Jamaica trip, honestly.
Me too.
I was waiting for that at some point.
But the Nigerian thing is just so traceable and it's just
but if it is traceable,
and then the Evictus when they were doing it at Dusseldorf and Harry had to mention, "Oh, this is my wife's
but you
team.
could
Look, it's my wife's team."
You could clearly see he was uncomfortable.
You could.
Yes.
You could in Dusseldorf.
She was not comfortable at all.
No.
And even this last time at Whistler, when Harry was making a big deal about that veteran named Peacemaker from Nigeria, and you could just still tell she was just not wanting to be around. I mean, that could just be she doesn't like people.
Yes.
But, she was very uncomfortable. And that usually happens when narcissists feel trapped. They want to get out of there. Which is, I think, one of the reasons she wanted to leave England so bad was she was feeling the walls close in on her where they were like, what's your deal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But interesting side note on that documentary, that the Whistler one, 20 minutes long. They didn't feature a veteran until 18 minutes. And it was just that Peacemaker that they highlighted. And I speculated, I was like, oh, it's because he's Nigerian.
Yeah. No, you're right. 18 minutes.
And, they're exploiting Peacemaker.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Everybody's a prop.
It's a prop.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Peacemaker spent like hours and hours and hours on that mountain too. If you had heard his story.
Oh yeah, I'd rather hear his story. He sounds way more interesting than these two numbnuts. Yeah,
so much more interesting.
So make a video about how he got from Nigeria to the top of a mountain on Whistler.
Exactly. Yeah. How do you train for an event like that? It's absolutely.
You've never seen snow.
Exactly. That's so much more interesting to me. They've missed so many opportunities, and that's a huge one. Yep, absolutely. And then Rebrand to award-winning feminist. So she got the Women of Vision Award. However, she obtained that through purchase or gift. I don't know. But she said in that award ceremony, substance matters. And I'm just like, even that doesn't actually mean anything when you think about it. And I don't think she has any substance. So what are you talking about? But then we got the Ripple of Hope Award. Word salad. Ripple of Hope Award, the Gracie Award for Archetypes. So I guess the overall branding on this one would just be awards. Look at me, I'm winning awards.
I don't know. I feel like, yes, you're right. She definitely, they paid for a lot of awards so far. And the aviation one, I believe, was as well. And but I think when Nancy had a good point when she said in New York on their first visit, they burned all their bridges. They're using all their resources. They're squeezing a turnip right now with this stuff. And there's so much pay to play you can get.
Yeah.
So okay, you want to rebrand an award, but it's not going to be a real award. And you attending the Oscars with Masan,
if you do,
that's not you getting an award. So you could show up, but pay to play doesn't count.
I think the whole feminist thing, I think she's played that to the
that's done.
I think people are like, nah, I wouldn't bring that up.
No,
because if you look at her life before 2016, she never did anything. But I mean, she did something. She was a wannabe influencer, but
on deal or no deal.
Yeah, but she didn't. She couldn't even succeed at being a successful influencer. So
I don't think you can treat Catherine the way she has treated Catherine and call yourself a feminist. I don't think you can treat the queen that way. I don't think you can treat female staff members the way that we've heard allegedly she does in the, release those bullying reports, right? Then we'll talk about what a feminist she is.
Or let's just say her friend Jessica Maroney. Her friend is, her friend is catty like her.
I can't stand her. Yeah.
Really, really stupid thinking that a message to another woman wouldn't get out there, that the woman wouldn't put it out there. But, she said things like, I'm going to ruin your life.
Yeah.
At the height of the George Floyd thing. So that woman was like, it's because I'm Black and all this stuff. So Meghan, what a true woman would do, a true feminist. I know that I've forgiven people, and I know people have forgiven me, my girlfriends, trust me. But, instead of just cutting Jessica off, this friend of hers, this best friend, even though Jessica made a mistake, you know, maybe Meghan could have shown a little compassion and forgiveness to her, but just she cuts everybody off. She also cut off that best friend of hers she had during high school and college.
Oh yeah,
that's me.
Yeah,
she doesn't get along with women. Yeah. She's not a feminist. She doesn't like women. She doesn't get along, especially Black women. She does not like being around. She doesn't have any Black friends. She just doesn't like women. You know. And so her branding herself as a feminist. That's smart.
I think what happened was in 2016 when or even 15, when she had to start courting Harry or start, you know, grooming Harry. I think they were just passing out name cards and feminists came up. They're like, here, you take the role of feminist because it's an easy thing to do. Priyanka Chopra was riding on it. A lot of women back then were just like, I'm just going to this event. I'm a feminist now. Yeah. Guess what? That's what I am.
Right.
So.
Not so much. Not in action, just in word. I mean, always. That's just how it goes. They say these things, have nothing to back it up. I totally agree with you. Let's see. And then one of the last ones I have here is that, remember the big rebrand around the time of the Cut magazine article? So Meghan Markle, it was all about her new life in California. They called her Meghan of Montecito. Now, this is where she told that one of a billion lies, but she told the story about the Royal Rota. What we left because people who call my child, horrible name that she alleges, why should we allow them to have pictures of my child? You know, that sort of thing. So continuing to play victim. She suggested the author transcribe the noises she was making during the interview. I don't know if you remember this. Like, I guess during the interview, the author talks. Yeah, the author talks about how it was like talking to somebody who had a Bachelor producer in their ear. So she was just kind of micromanaging the interview itself, and then said that she should transcribe the noises.
She wanted it to be like a Vanity Fair article where it's like, and then Angelina burst through the doors of the Duchess Hotel and sat down with a sigh after a hard day. Like that's how a Vanity Fair article would go.
You're right.
Celebrity. And I knew where she was going with that.
Narcissists like to direct.
She was directing it. And she ended up getting that woman in trouble too.
She did.
I remember. I think they let her go. Yeah.
Let her go. I know she said she was going on vacation. I've never heard from her since. But Meghan did not like and the problem is Meghan was the one who made herself look stupid in that article, but she blamed the writer of the article. And it's like, well,
she did. Yeah.
That article was terrible.
She ended up playing victim afterwards. Yeah. And said she was too trusting talking to the lady.
Yeah. She was the one who said that I haven't signed an NDA and I can say whatever. How's that the author's fault?
Exactly. If she said it, it's not. Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy. And then my last one I have is just the rebrand constantly of actress, model, filmmaker, producer, you name it. That's them. But acting, remember she was going to be in Kevin Costner's Bodyguard 2. Model for Dior, producer on maybe the new Suits show. She was kind of dropping hints about that. I don't know.
She was dropping hints about the possibly directing an episode of Suits.
That's what it was. Okay.
And then, the best thing that she would love a brand deal. She would love a brand deal with Kmart at this point.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she's not going to get one. But yeah, that would be the best thing for her.
Jessica Simpson had a Kmart deal. She's a billionaire.
Well, that's what she doesn't care what it would be. If a brand came to her tomorrow and said, can you do this? She would say yes to it. And the proof's in the pudding that Clever Brands went to her. And she was the first one to say, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
She didn't even take some time to maybe see her options in California before she was merching a brand.
Yeah, true.
She'll take anything she gets at this point.
We also noticed the last Invictus and Whistler that Harry's now branding Eddie Bauer. So
I noticed.
He's not branding it; he's merching.
I'm sorry, merching.
Yeah. There's a huge difference because there are people that do have brand deals. Like Zara has a brand deal with a sports company, and she just takes modeling pictures and they put it out there. There's a difference between branding and merching.
No, he's merching Eddie Bauer.
He's merching, which is a cheap version of, I mean, it's basically what influencers do on TikTok and Instagram.
So you think their people called him up and was like, Harry will wear your stuff prominently. Can you send us some stuff kind of thing?
Yeah, we'll get some free stuff.
100%. His people call them and say, hey, he's going to Whistler. Do you have any pieces? That you can send us. And the same thing with Meghan with her pieces. And then they send it back. You don't get to keep them.
So that necklace she wore was $20,000 and it's called the Diana. That's the part that stuck out. That's the only thing I really dove into. I was like, oh my God. Of course it is.
She was wearing a Calvin Klein jacket, a puffer jacket that was
beige.
Beige.
Last season's. I follow fashion. That's like the one my one thing. I love fashion, and I was so confused why she was merching winter clothes because we've already bought our winter clothes.
Springtime.
I'm already watching the Paris or Milan Fashion Week for fall and 2025 winter.
Yeah,
that's going on right. That's going on.
I'm
this
already
week.
going to Target and getting my spring shirts. I'm serious.
No, but that's
I love you. I feel the same way.
I am.
But that's what was confusing. Why she was merching winter clothes. Nobody's buying winter clothes right now.
Yeah, it's weird. It
was very strange. It was very.
She's an enigma wrapped in a puzzle.
She was wearing a Burberry cap, and that was like from last year. I didn't.
I think they're trying to just get as much money as they can. That's it. Merching, whatever. Yeah.
Do you think I'd heard a theory that she buys out of season things on purpose, like from Real or whatever it is, like one of those type things to save some money. I wonder if that's ever the case.
I don't think she's buying any of the pieces she's wearing.
I don't think so. Okay.
I think she's merching. Like they were trying to make it look like she recycled boots that she wore like 10 years ago when those were brand new boots. What happened was she was like, hey, I wore these in Toronto when I was on Suits. And then of course she doesn't have the boots anymore. I doubt she has the boots. And they sent her a pair and then she had to send them back. That's what happens. That's why you remember, Jen, when they were on the Australian Fiji tour and Jessica and her husband went, Jessica Maroney and her husband. And Jessica was there as her stylist. And they came down the tarmac and Meghan had a price tag hanging from her.
I remember. Yes.
That's on every single one of her outfits. And the reason why is because they send the clothes to the stylist and then they have to send them right back.
Okay.
So it was sloppy on Jessica's part, but there are tags on all her clothes. Everyone knows.
And that makes sense it goes back to nothing fits correctly. It drags on the ground.
And then why no one's there to tailor it or no one's there to steam it. Sorry, Jen, dogs.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's the reason why she looks mangled and disheveled all the time. It's just nothing's hers.
Like the thing about the variety too, the variety red carpet dress, that beige dress, it was super long.
Super long.
The reason it was super long and you could kind of see it pleated up was because her stylist, whoever did, or it could have been her, they couldn't tailor it, so they had to tape.
Okay.
So it wouldn't hang that long.
Yeah,
it's like they're not allowed to touch it because they have to put it back.
They have to send it back. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh goodness. What a mess. What a nightmare.
Hot mess.
How can they rebrand into normal people? They will never do that.
Nope. She had a chance with the dogs last week and she screwed that up. She should have said nothing. And then maybe a little leak went where Meghan contributed in a year. Yeah. But her saying something that day and then the video, she lost me. She's not human.
She lost me a long time ago.
Yeah, me too. She lost me in South Africa. You don't get to stand in South Africa near actual atrocities and say, life is hard for me. I love that. That's very dramatic.
No one thinks about me.
I know. I'm royal and nobody's addressing me the right way.
I don't care. There was a horrible fire yesterday at the
nursery
at the housing complex.
Housing complex. Yeah. You mean the beautiful mansion you're in?
The housing unit.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for talking through this list with us. You guys are the best. Tell everybody everything. Where can we find you? How can we support you? Have you started a Patreon yet? I need you guys to get on Patreon. Start up a Patreon.
I'm subscribing to yours today, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm going to look into it. I'm going to watch yours. But everyone's talking about Patreon, so maybe we'll do that. But we still have, obviously, our YouTube that we do, Sidley Twins YouTube, Twin Talk. And then also we're both on Twitter X. Our names, Stephanie Sidley, Nancy Sidley, and then
Nancy Sidley Sussex.
Yes, she's mentioned. And we're also on Instagram, Sidley Twins. So, you know, whatever, just come say hi.
We will. Thank you for everything. We can't wait to see what's next and continue to watch your videos. You guys do the best live streams. So those are my personal faves.
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah. Love them.
You. We love sending our lives over to you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. It's just it's so nice to have this community and to work together. So it's been wonderful. You make it so much more fun. So thank you.
This is what feminism looks like.
Yeah, right? As you share my husband, yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's just women supporting women.
That's right.
With Jay, because he's so hot.
Listen, that guy gives me a headache. You guys take him. It's cool.
Oh, come back to us. Come back to us. We're bringing back.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you guys again. We appreciate it. We can't wait to watch all of your videos very soon. And we'll do this again really soon.
Hey, thanks, Jen.
Yeah. A huge thank you to Nancy and to Stephanie for taking your time with me, for going over these rebrands. I really enjoyed our conversation. I think it shows in the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Let me know in the comments if there's a rebrand that we didn't talk about that you want me to address. Also, if you are on Patreon, they were so kind. We continued our talk over there. So there's some bonus footage over there. So if you haven't signed up already, consider checking it out. It's patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. And again, a huge thank you to the Sidley twins for recording with me. Thank you to you all for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Take care. Bye-bye.